Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, If He Looks Like a Geek and Walks Like a Geek. I was in Best Buy picking up some software. I do independent IT work. I was not wearing a blue shirt, but the racks were a mess, so I was going through the boxes looking for the one I wanted. This older guy, I'm an older guy myself, comes to me with a popular antivirus program and starts telling me his situation and wants to know if that is the best product for him. I show him a more suitable product, considerably cheaper, and recommend it. He asks if I can check him out. I laugh for a second and explain that I'm in IT but I DWH. He looks a little puzzled, walks off the register. He comes back a few minutes later with his bag box and asks how much would I charge to come install the software at his office. I give his my rate, he accepts. I end up at his office cleaning up a mess of 5 virus-infected PCs before I can install antivirus. That was 2 years ago. My billings to him have exceeded $10,000 for building an effective business network. Helping people in a store you don't work in can be very profitable. The next story is titled, I Don't Work Here Lady, but Thanks for the Shirt. My boss lady told me this one. She went to an outlet mall for Black Friday shopping, and told me this one today. TW equals that woman BL, boss lady. TW, excuse me, do you have more of these? BL ignores her, continuing to look through the rack. TW literally throws this sweater across the rack and into my boss lady's face. TW, I ducking asked you a question and you can answer me right now. BL, thanks. Deciding to just buy this sweater only to irritate this lady, and leave the store. After checking out, TW is screaming over the crowd, stop. What the hell are you think you're going with my sweater? Runs after BL and grabs her bag screaming like a madwoman and slapping at BL, calling her all sorts of things. And insisting she gets fired. My boss just kept saying, WTF, I don't work here. Get away. Etc. Security shows up to pull the lady away, and she scratched at their face. TW gets restrained, falls to the floor and tries to fake a seizure saying, you're making me have a seizure, call 911. Police show up, and the madwoman is loaded into the back of the car, and she spits on the window. My boss made her statement, and wore the sweater to work today. It's her new favorite. The next story is titled, Not Even Mistaken for a Human. So, this happened about 4 years ago. I worked in data support, as fun as it sounds, for a company that was situated in the business district of my city. In that job it was extremely important to leave the building on your lunch. Not doing so meant others assumed you were having a working lunch. On lunch, I would go into the shopping areas of the city and just look around, grab something to eat and ensure I was back in work at exactly the time I needed to be and no earlier. This day I decided to go into Primark, which is a clothing store in the UK. I was casually browsing the shirts and completely in a world of my own. I must have been looking around the same area for a few minutes when I felt a presence to the right of me. Now, this isn't unusual, busy store, middle of lunch time and a fairly tight space between the clothes rails. I get fed up of looking at the shirts, and turn to walk away, only to hear, oh ducking Christ. I turned to see the man that was stood close to me with a look of sheer terror in his eyes, staring at me for a moment in disbelief. This confused me a lot. I was about to ask if everything was okay, and this guy's terror turns to a relieved laugh. Covering his face and turning quite red at the scene he'd just made in a busy store, he said, I thought you were a mannequin. The next story is titled, Truancy Officer Thinks I'm a HS Student. My family moved to the south after I graduated HS, so my brother had 2 years left and they do block scheduling for classes. All that means is some days he'd get out of school earlier than what we did at our old HS. I go to pick him up from school. It's a 3 hours bus ride or 15 minutes if I pick him up, one day about 1 p, and I'm waiting out in my car in the pickup area kinda near the doors. Here comes Truancy Officer. Truancy Officer, excuse me, miss, but school isn't out yet, you should be in class. Me, I graduated HS already. I'm here picking up my younger brother, he gets out around 1:15 to 1:30 p. Truancy Officer, I've seen you here before, you need to be in class. What's your name? I show him my ID, out of state. Truancy Officer, I know that last name, you do go here. Come inside to the office. Me, well obviously brother and I would have the same last name, we're siblings. I go in because 1, I don't want to keep having this issue every time I pick him up, 2, I do need to collect brother, as we both have to go to work, diff jobs thank God. We make our way to the office, where truancy officer tells them to look up my name. Office lady, we don't have a student by that name, we do have another student with same last name. Truancy officer, that's her then, she just gave me the wrong name on purpose. Office lady, the other student is male, sir. She doesn't go here. Me, that would be my brother, could you page him for me? Truancy officer, no, I've seen her here before, she goes to school here. Office lady, sir, she doesn't go here, we have no record of any student with her name. Leave her be. Brother arrives to the office, looking confused. Brother, hey sis, you ready to go? Truancy officer, see? She does go here. Why would she know students if she doesn't? Brother, my sister is here to pick me up from school, she isn't in the system because she is not a student. Truancy officer, but I see her every day outside. Brother turns to office lady and asks if we are okay to dip out, she says yes, so we skedaddle. As we're leaving we can hear office lady trying to explain to truancy officer that all current students are in the system and that if he brings in one more random person that he sees outside every day, claiming they're a student, she's gonna file a complaint on him. Brother, I've only been going here for a month and I already know that guy is a moron. The next story is titled, I'm not robbing this house and I'm not a gardener either. This is my own house. We moved into a new house a few years ago. 2 days after we get settled in, it's a gorgeous day so I'm out tending the garden. If you live in Louisiana you'll realize that nice days are few and far in between. It's hot and muggy. About 30 minutes after I start, this woman walks beside the house. She compliments my garden and asks how much my services cost. So I told her, ma'am, I don't do services. About this time my husband walks out and puts something into the car. So all's perfectly fine, right? No. This woman decides to call the police and tell them we are robbing the place. I don't know if her watching my husband caused that thinking as he was pulling stuff out of the house and into the vehicle or what. We were new neighbors, moved in like a few days prior, so you'd think she would have seen us moving. 3 cops show up a few minutes after she left. We didn't know she called the cops. They pull up while both of us are wondering what the hell happened. Maybe someone we knew died or our kid got arrested. Neither. They said we were called in as an active burglar. We had to prove it was ours. She didn't even talk to us about or mention robbery. Although I guess in the moment she just lost it. People are crazy here. The next story is titled, I don't work here lady. Now you owe me an apology. I was at a major electronics store known for their blue polo shirts. I just got off work at a warehouse and had a blue t-shirt on. I was in looking at movies when I heard a woman snapping her fingers right at my face and, in an angry, loud tone, excuse me. I slowly turned to see a middle-aged woman standing there in a pissed-off pose glaring at me. You need to go get whatever item she was looking for, from the back. It was only then I realized what has happened. I quietly replied that I didn't work there, which just set her off in a rage. Now I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was along the lines of, listen here you stupid idiot. I know you do work here. You have a blue shirt on. Why are you so ducking lazy? I am gonna get you fired. Where's your manager? Now I usually don't yell at people, but something about her just pissed me off. Listen here, lady. I don't work here. Just because I'm wearing a blue shirt doesn't mean that. I am a customer. Now leave me alone. It was at that point that a real employee came over to see what the fuss was about. She saw this employee and demanded to see a manager. It was less than a minute when the manager came over to talk to her. Yes. How may I help you? The lady screamed about my incompetence and demanded I apologize to her before I was fired. I looked at the manager and shook my head. The manager looked at me in a bewildered state and said to the lady, ma'am, he doesn't work here. Just because he has a blue t-shirt on doesn't mean he works here. Now, I will get you an employee to help you. He turned to lead the lady to lead her away, but I wanted one thing first. Excuse me, but I want one thing first. I looked directly at the woman in the eye and said, "You owe me an apology." The woman looked around in a bewildered state. The manager looked surprised but said nothing. The woman turned to a sheepish look while mumbled her, "I'm sorry." The next story is titled, Karen is shut down by my uniform. It was hot last week, 33C, 91F, but felt like 42C, 108F. I had some birthday party items to pick up for a work-related function. I was in my summer uniform, shirt, no jacket, and I went to Walmart because they've got a decent party section and fantastic AC. I found my way to the right section and chatted briefly with a sales associate. I started gathering the supplies I needed and putting them in my cart. I pulled one item, and that caused a cascade of everything else behind it to fly onto the floor. My mother always taught me that if you make a mess, clean it up. So I squat down and start putting the stuff I spilled back on the shelf. Then from over my right shoulder, I hear a hum. I kept putting the stock back. Shame on me for not responding. I hear a voice that's somewhere between the caw of a crow and the rasp of a 30-year, 2-pack-a-day smoking habit. "I'm talking to you. Stop stocking the shelves and tell me where the art supplies are." I turned my head, and there before me was a vision standing, 40-ish, with an asymmetrical haircut, laden with gold-colored jewelry, colored because there were green marks around her neck, in a pink sports bra and short shorts made of this amazingly strong synthetic knit fabric. She obviously firmly believed one size does indeed fit all, but missed the part about it shouldn't. I said to this woman, one of God's own very special creations, "I'm sorry, I'm Canadian, but I don't." Cut off. You're a manager. Tell me where the art supplies are. I rephrased, "I don't work here. Can't help you." She wanted to talk to my boss, and threatened to call corporate to let them know their managers are lying about working there to avoid helping customers. Then she launched into a string of invective worthy of a longshoreman. So I stood up and turned to face her. She was struck dumb. Her mouth was moving but no sound was coming out, and she had gone pale under her shoe leather tan. Now to be fair, I was wearing a light blue shirt and dark grey dress pants. But it's my uniform that made the difference. I have a white-collar type of job. I am the chaplain at a medium-security prison, the chaplain for a group of World War II veterans, and the chaplain for a group of Afghan war veterans being treated for post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSS. This last group is the one I was shopping for. You know you've been hanging around military veterans when cursing doesn't even faze you anymore. So, there I was in my light blue shirt with my clerical collar. I asked her, "Do you kiss your children with that potty mouth?" Then I told her that corporate doesn't have a phone, but if she wanted to talk to my boss, she could do so directly on Sunday at the church just a few blocks away from the Walmart. By this time, her vocal cords had recovered, but the only sound coming out was a cross between a squeaky door hinge and a chicken that just laid an egg. I turned and pushed my cart down the aisle toward the checkout. The sales associate I spoke with earlier was just around the corner. Apparently he came back to the aisle to see what the screeching was about and had seen the ending. He was doubled over with silent laughter, holding his sides. All he could do was mouth, "Thank you." And I was off, a man on a mission. The next story is titled, I Don't Work Here Lady, Disneyland Edition. So me and my GF took a trip to Disneyland Paris a few years ago as our first holiday together. We were having an awesome time in the parks etc., but one day was incredibly busy, so we decided instead of queuing hours for rides we would do some souvenir shopping instead for a bit. We are in a store in Disneyland browsing various mugs, fridge magnets, plush toys, you know, the general overpriced stuff. When a very sweet English woman asked me if I could help her across the store as I'm a tall guy 6'4", I said, "Yeah, that's fine, I get it at home in supermarkets all the time, so no biggie." Turns out her daughter wanted a specific Winnie the Pooh toy that was at the top of a huge pile of plushes. I gladly grabbed it down for her and gave it to the little girl who was over the moon. This is where things got strange. A fairly young French lady moved over to me chatting in French and gesturing at a shelf with some glasses on it. I speak a tiny bit of French, but definitely not enough to know what she wanted, so I politely told her, "Sorry, I speak English and I'm not an employee." I was wearing jeans and a wine-colored hoodie, which is not even remotely close to Disney cast members' uniforms. The French lady stormed off and I thought that was that. I went and found my GF and we were looking at some gift ideas for our families, when from right behind me I heard a woman say, "This is him," in English but with a French accent. I turned around to see the aforementioned French lady who had dragged an actual employee over to me to give me a scolding. Her accent was very heavy, but she said something along the lines of, "He helped someone but not me, workers should be trained better." The actual Disney employee immediately could see I was a guest at the park, apologized and led the woman away. All we could hear from the other side of the store was the French lady shouting and getting very irate. I assume she was removed from the store. Anyway, me and my GF took a couple of Minnie and Mickey Mouse mugs to the register to pay for, and the employee who sorted the situation was on the next register. She said, "Please wait there." She toddled off and came back a couple minutes later with a stuffed Luke Skywalker Mickey Mouse and a stuffed Princess Leia Minnie Mouse for my GF. "These are for you as way of an apology. It's not necessary, was just a misunderstanding," I said, but she insisted, so we got some pretty cool free souvenirs, thanks. Angry French lady. The next story is titled, "Gave One a Taste of Her Own Medicine." The boss had wanted to do some big displays for our store, which meant one of us had to go down to the nearest crafts and homewares place to pick up the balloons he'd orders and a few other things. We were drawing straws because no one likes running errands to this place. It's basically walking into the lion's den of ladies who insist you work there. A large number of the customers are either senior citizens or entitled soccer mums. Their uniform is similar to ours in that we both wear black pants and steel caps. They never have enough staff on and the queues at the till are long no matter when you go. You cannot walk in there looking even vaguely like you may work in retail or you're going to get hassled. As you can guess by reading this, I draw the short straw. I took off my uniform shirt, picked up my backpack, put in my headphones hoping that this would protect me somewhat, and walked into the store, which was already shoulder to shoulder, and as usual they only had a couple of tills open with lines snaking around the store. Great. I breezed through that store avoiding eye contact with everyone, headphone in but off so I can hear what's going on. I'm still having loads of people try to catch my eye and wave me down. By the time I get what I needed, I've already had to point to my headphones about 15 times because people are just coming up to me and asking me crap. I take my place at the end of the massive queue. I've got a big trolley stuff and a huge bunch of helium balloons. There is a group of about 4 older women behind me idioting about how long the line is. I notice that one woman is talking louder, raising her voice saying something like, "They must open another till, whatever happened to customer service, etc. etc." She's occasionally clearing her throat and I get the impression she thinks I'm an employee and wants me to overhear. I was not wrong. After a couple more minutes of this and very little movement, there's a tap on my shoulder. "Lady, are you going to open her?" Me, "I don't work here." I shove my headphone back in. A few more minutes go by and the lady is still whinging. Another shoulder tap. "Lady, can't you just..." Me, "No." Headphone back in. I'm hoping my bluntness has gotten through to her. More whinging, more minutes. Another tap. "Lady, the line is just very long and we're in a hoo." Me, "So go get on a till then." I'd really had enough of her crap by now. Lady, "Looks like I just told her Wheel of Fortune reruns are cancelled, excuse me?" I just want to. Me, "Yeah, I'm in a hurry too, so why don't you open a till?" Lady, "I don't work here, I'm a cust." Me, "Neither do I and I'm a customer too, but apparently that doesn't matter to you, so on you go. Open a till." We're waiting. The look of shock on the face of her and her friends was incredible. We kind of stared at each other for a second or two while she registered that I wasn't kidding around, then I turned back and they went back to their muttering. I didn't get another shoulder tap after that. I hope she learned a lesson that day. The next story is titled, "I Was Fired 3 months after I quit." This all happened many moons ago when I was 16. My first job was a hot springs pool as a lifeguard. The water park featured a few large hot tub pools, a cold pool, and 2 water slides where only one ever worked at any one time. I worked there during the winter when everything was open, including the slide, outside of the one cold pool. There were many odd things about the job, one of which was that I was expected to sit outside in a little uninsulated shack, fully clothed with a coat on and guard people's lives. I was never sure exactly what I would have done if someone would have gone under and needed me to go in. Another odd thing is that I was paid from a personal check from the manager. I never really understood that one. I worked there, for minimum wage, for one fall and winter. When springtime came, I was hired by another large pool, that was much closer to my home for an actual lifeguarding job. Where this was my first job, my dad was trying to teach me how to be a gainful, fulfilling, employed and responsible individual, and said it was customary to provide 2 weeks' notice. He also said that 1 month notice was more appropriate if the job is one where there cannot go without my position. We decided that I would give 1 month notice, since there were only 3 lifeguards and they would need to hire a replacement. I gave my notice in February and said I would work for 1 month. After that date came and passed, I got a call from the manager who was upset that I hadn't come into work. I told him that my 1 month was past and that I had quit. He asked me to work a bit longer until they could find my replacement. The manager kept scheduling me and I kept working, but each time I ran into him, he wasn't always there. In the evenings, I would remind him that I had quit. By May, he was still scheduling me, so I left him a note that I wouldn't be coming in anymore and that I wouldn't be checking the schedule anymore. He called me the next Friday night, apparently a shift I was scheduled for, and chewed me out over not coming into work. He told me that I wasn't responsible enough to work when scheduled, that he would have to fire me. I yelled back into the phone, "You can't fire someone who quit 3 months ago." He kept yelling at me and telling me how horrible of an employee I was and how I'll never be able to hold down a job as an adult. My dad was in the room and could hear every word he said, and he finally took the phone from me and delivered a rebuke so satisfying that it belonged in a Liam Neeson movie. My dad is not someone that raises his voice, but he has this way of talking quieter that scares the crap out of you. He finished his talk by telling my long-since former manager that he would be driving out to the hot springs to finish their conversation. He never drove out. He thought it would be more painful on the guy, who was fairly young himself, to have to wonder when my dad was going to show up. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.